Hi, this is Marilyn McPhee, and I have a story for you. It's a story from Russia, and it involves nesting dolls. Do you like nesting dolls? I love nesting dolls. I have about 25 of them, all kinds of nesting dolls. I have, for example, this one. It's Viking warriors. And I have this one, pirates. And I even have this one, which is measuring cups for when I'm cooking. But one of my very favorite nesting dolls is this one. And the reason I like it so much is that it has a story that goes with it. Here's the story. There was once a family, a father and a mother and a girl, and their very favorite dinner, you probably wouldn't guess what it is. Not macaroni and cheese, not spaghetti and meatballs, not fried chicken, not pizza, not sushi. Their very favorite dinner was turnip pie. They loved turnip pie. And one day the father said to himself, "Hey, we have a garden. I could plant turnips, and then we could have turnip pie from our very own turnips." So he went out and he got a big bag of turnip seeds. He didn't read the directions. The directions said to plant one seed here, one seed here, one seed here. He didn't read that. He just dug a hole and planted all of the seeds in the same hole. And then he covered it up with dirt, and he watered it and waited and watered it and waited. And after a while, he saw one green leaf, and then another, and then another. And the turnip started to grow. Turnips, as you know, grow underground like carrots. And he could tell pretty soon that it wasn't going to be a little turnip, and it wasn't going to be a medium-sized turnip. It wasn't even going to be a big turnip. It was going to be a great, big, enormous turnip. Finally, one day when he went out to the garden, he said, "I'm going to pick this turnip. We can have turnip pie for dinner tonight." And so he grabbed a hold of the turnip. You can see him here. There's the father, and there's the turnip. He grabbed a hold of the turnip, and he began to pull. And he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled. The turnip was stuck. He thought, well, sometimes people say that if you sing a song, it helps plants to grow. Maybe it would help this plant to come up. And so he sang this silly song. Turnip, turnip, come on up. Turnip, turnip, come on up. He pulled and he tugged and he pulled and he tugged, but that stubborn turnip would not come up. It was stuck. He needed help. So he called on the mama. "Mama! Mama!" The mama came running. Where is she? The mama came running, and the mama, she brought the pot with her to cook the turnip. And so the mama, she pulled on the papa, and the papa, well, he pulled on the turnip. And they pulled, and they tugged, and they pulled, and they sang that silly song. Turnip, turnip, come on up. Turnip, turnip, come on up. They pulled and they tugged and they pulled and they tugged, but that stubborn turnip would not come up. It was stuck. So they called on their daughter. Her name was Marusha. "Marusha! Marusha!" Where's Marusha? No. Yes. Marusha came running. She was a very helpful girl, and she wanted to help. She liked turnip pie as much as anybody. And so it was that Marusha, I have to get her straight there, Marusha pulled on the mama, and the mama pulled on the papa, and the papa pulled on the turnip. And they pulled, and they tugged, and they pulled, and they sang that silly song. Turnip, turnip, come on up. Turnip, turnip, come on up. They pulled and they tugged and they pulled and they tugged, but that stubborn turnip would not come up. It was stuck. They needed more help. Well, they did have a dog. His name was Boris, so they called for him. "Boris! Boris!" Boris came running. It's a pretty silly looking dog, I have to say. And so Boris the dog, he pulled on the girl, And the girl, wait, gotta get him right. He pulled on the girl, and the girl pulled on the mama, and the mama pulled on the papa, and the papa pulled on the turnip. And they pulled, and they tugged, and they pulled, and they all sang that silly song. Turnip, turnip, come on up. Turnip, come on up. They pulled and they tugged and they pulled and they tugged, but that stubborn turnip would not come up. It was stuck. Well, they needed more help, and they had a cat. So they called for the cat. The cat's name was Natasha. Natasha! Natasha came running. Wait till you see Natasha. Natasha! And Natasha the cat, she pulled on the dog, and the dog pulled on the girl pulled on the mama pulled on the papa, and the papa pulled on the turnip. And they all pulled, and they tugged, and they pulled, and they sang that silly song. Turnip, turnip, come on up. Turnip, turnip, come on up. They pulled and they tugged and they pulled and they tugged, but that stubborn turnip, it would not come up. It was stuck. They didn't know what to do. And then they heard a little voice, and it said, I can help. They looked around. Who said that? I can help. They looked down, and there, on the ground, they saw, have you guessed? A very small mouse. Did you say something? Yes, I said I can help. And they all looked at the mouse and said, you can't help, you're too little. And the mouse said, I might be little, but I'm very strong. Give me a chance. Okay, we'll give you a chance. And so the mouse pulled on the cat, and the cat pulled on the dog pulled on the girl pulled on the mama pulled on the papa, and the papa pulled on the turnip. And they pulled, and they tugged, and they pulled, and they sang that silly song. Turnip, turnip, come on up. Turnip, turnip, come on up. They pulled and they tugged, and suddenly they heard a rumbling, and it got louder, and then pop, out of the ground came the turnip. And you know, they'd been right about that turnip. It wasn't a little turnip. It wasn't a medium-sized turnip. It wasn't even a big turnip. It was a great, big, enormous turnip. And they pulled it all the way back to their house, and they spent the rest of the day chopping it up and chopping it up and chopping it up and stirring it up and stirring it up and stirring it up and baking it up and baking it up and baking it up. And that night, I guess you know what they had for dinner. Not pizza, not macaroni and cheese, not spaghetti and meatballs, not fried chicken, not sushi. They had turnip pie. And they ate and ate and ate and ate. You know who ate the most? It was the mouse. But there was still plenty left over. And so they put it in containers and put it in the refrigerator. And they had turnip pie for the rest of the week. And that's the story of the great, big, enormous turnip.